The 2025 Spanish Grand Prix unfolded at the renowned Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, a track thoroughly familiar to all the teams and drivers, often serving as a true benchmark of a car's aerodynamic efficiency and a driver's unwavering skill. The atmosphere was simply electric, with thousands of passionate fans eagerly anticipating another thrilling chapter in what has already been an incredibly compelling Formula One season. Expectations were understandably high for several teams, but the vibrant papaya orange of McLaren was particularly prominent in the build-up, hinting at a potentially very strong weekend ahead for the Woking-based squad. The Spanish sunshine beat down relentlessly on the circuit, promising a grueling challenge for tires and drivers alike throughout the afternoon. It was a classic European Grand Prix setting, perfectly poised for the drama to commence. From the very moment the 5 red lights extinguished, it was abundantly clear that Oscar Piastri was in a completely different league to his competitors on this particular Sunday. He launched his McLaren off the starting grid with remarkable precision and undeniable authority, expertly seizing the lead into turn 1 and immediately beginning to carve out a significant gap to the chasing pack behind him. This wasn't just a fleeting moment of early brilliance. It was the definitive start of an utterly commanding performance that would see him dominate the proceedings from start to finish. This impressive victory at Barcelona marked his 5th win of the current season, a truly remarkable achievement that further solidifies his ever-growing reputation and position as a top contender in the championship fight. His driving was impeccably smooth, consistently quick, and utterly unflappable, showcasing a level of maturity far beyond his years' experience. The incredible success story for the McLaren team didn't merely end with Oscar Piastri's individual triumph. His talented teammate, Lando Norris, also delivered a stellar and controlled performance, ensuring the team could joyously celebrate a coveted and hugely significant 1-2 finish. While Lando candidly admitted after the race that he didn't quite possess the raw pace to genuinely challenge Piastri for the victory on this particular day, his composed drive to second place was absolutely crucial for McLaren's aspirations in the fiercely contested Constructors' Championship. The wonderful sight of both papaya orange cars circulating confidently at the front of the field, maintaining a comfortable margin over their closest rivals for much of the race, was a powerful testament to the immense hard work, dedication, and clever development undertaken by the entire McLaren organization. Reflecting on his dominant victory, a clearly delighted Oscar Piastri described it as a great weekend overall, taking care to highlight the excellent intrinsic pace his McLaren car possessed right from the very first practice session. He acknowledged that his restart after the mid-race safety car period was okay, though he did confess to experiencing a rather heart-and-mouth moment with some unexpected wheel spin in 6th gear. A decidedly tricky situation that he nonetheless managed to control with his typical calmness. Piastri also astutely noted the significant challenge of constantly adjusting to the changing grip levels as the fuel load in his car decreased throughout the race, likening the feeling and precision required in the car towards the end of the Grand Prix to stringing together a series of intense qualifying laps. The race, however, was certainly not without its share of heart-stopping moments and controversial incidents, particularly during a tense safety car restart period. Charles Leclerc in his Ferrari and Max Verstappen in the Red Bull found themselves battling ferociously, going wheel to wheel, which unfortunately resulted in minor contact between the two championship hopefuls. Leclerc later explained his perspective, stating that he felt Verstappen was deliberately trying to push him towards the inside of the track, where there was a significant amount of discarded tire rubber, a notoriously less grippy part of the circuit surface. In immediate response, Leclerc attempted to push Verstappen back towards the left, leading to what he carefully described as a little bit of contact. Fortunately for both, neither car sustained any significant or race-ending damage, but the stewards duly noted the incident for a post-race investigation, adding an unwelcome element of suspense. Later in the Grand Prix, a far more significant and impactful incident occurred, this time involving Max Verstappen and the Mercedes of George Russell. Verstappen, who had reportedly been instructed by his Red Bull pit wall to let Russell pass, potentially due to an earlier unresolved issue or a strategic team decision, found himself in an extremely precarious and ultimately costly situation. As Russell made his decisive move to overtake, Verstappen appeared to accelerate once more, perhaps misjudging the closing speed of the Mercedes or attempting a very robust defense of his position. He subsequently locked up his inside front tire quite heavily, sending his Red Bull careering into the side of Russell's unsuspecting Mercedes in a cloud of tire smoke. The unfortunate collision between Verstappen and Russell dramatically and instantly altered the complexion of the race for both highly rated drivers and their respective teams. While George Russell was remarkably able to continue the race, albeit likely nursing some performance deficit from the contact, Max Verstappen's afternoon was severely compromised from that point onwards. The contact inevitably brought out waved yellow flags in that particular sector of the track and triggered a sudden flurry of urgent activity in the pit lane as team strategists scrambled to reassess their race plans. The incident also immediately caught the full attention of the race stewards, who promptly began an investigation that would ultimately lead to a significant time penalty for the Red Bull driver, effectively ending any realistic hopes he harbored of a strong points finish. The safety car period itself had already injected a considerable dose of unpredictability and excitement into the proceedings much earlier in the race. Lando Norris vividly described his own experience during that particular restart as getting pretty sideways, clearly indicating just how challenging and treacherous the track conditions were as all the drivers desperately tried to get vital temperature back into their tires on the less-than-ideal racing surface. Piastri, despite his overall masterful control of the race, also mentioned his own tricky moment with unexpected wheel spin. These instances serve to highlight the immense skill and concentration required from these elite athletes to navigate such critical and high-pressure phases of a Grand Prix, where even a small misjudgment could have enormous and race-altering consequences for anyone. Charles Leclerc's determined journey to a well-deserved podium finish was a fascinating display of clever strategic thinking by the astute Ferrari team management. He revealed candidly after the race that they had made a conscious and brave decision to sacrifice some one-lap pace during qualifying. This was done to ensure they had better race tires available for Sunday's main event. This calculated gamble was aimed at giving him a potential advantage during the long and demanding race stints, particularly if tire degradation became a significant factor, which it often does at the abrasive Barcelona circuit. It was a calculated risk, trading a potentially higher grid slot for superior tire longevity and race performance. The Monegasque driver's strategic approach began to pay dividends as the race unfolded, especially with the intervention of the safety car, which can reset on-track battles and open up new strategic windows. Leclerc admitted feeling optimistic when his race engineer informed him that Verstappen was planning to run hard tires for the final stint of the race. Ferrari had done their homework meticulously, as Leclerc knew the hard tire had been performing poorly throughout the race weekend, offering less grip and pace compared to other tire compounds. With Verstappen's race compromised by the collision with Russell and then by the resulting penalty, Leclerc found himself in a strong position to fight for a valuable third-place finish. His consistently quick pace throughout the Grand Prix, coupled with Ferrari's astute tire strategy, allowed him to manage his race effectively and capitalize on his competitors' misfortunes. The podium celebration was a fitting reward for a well-executed race plan and a determined drive from Leclerc, navigating chaos to bring home a strong result. While Ferrari played their cards astutely for Leclerc, McLaren's execution for Piastri and Norris was practically flawless, ensuring their dominant position converted to maximum points. From the slickly executed pit stops to the nuanced tire management, the Woking-based team operated like a well-oiled machine. Even with the safety car potentially disrupting their rhythm, they managed their drivers and strategies with calm efficiency, ensuring Piastri maintained his commanding lead and Norris consolidated his second place, protecting their brilliant 1-2. The considerable on-track drama involving Max Verstappen didn't simply conclude with the collision itself. There were further consequences to come. After a thorough review of the incident with George Russell, the race stewards made the decision to hand Verstappen a significant 10-second time penalty. This was deemed the appropriate sanction for causing the collision. The penalty was undoubtedly a bitter pill for the entire Red Bull team to swallow, as it had a drastic impact on Verstappen's final race classification. It saw him tumble down the order, ultimately finishing in a deeply disappointing 10th place, salvaging only a single championship point. Despite being the unfortunate victim in the collision with Verstappen, George Russell demonstrated commendable resilience and skill to bring his Mercedes home in fourth position. His ability to continue racing competitively was a clear testament to his driving skill and the robustness of the Mercedes car. This hard-fought result was crucial for Mercedes in the ultra-tight Constructors' Championship standings. One of the absolute standout performances came from the vastly experienced Nico Hülkenberg. The German Haas driver delivered an exceptional drive, skillfully carving his way through the midfield from 16th position on the grid to finish in an incredible 5th place. This was a truly remarkable achievement, showcasing his overtaking prowess and Haas team's strategy. Other notable results inside the top 10 included Lewis Hamilton finishing 6th for Mercedes, Isaac Hadjar securing 7th, Pierre Gasly 8th for Alpine, and Fernando Alonso claiming 9th for Aston Martin. The Spanish Grand Prix will certainly be remembered for its thrilling blend of performances and drama. Oscar Piastri's commanding 5th victory, leading a McLaren 1-2 with Lando Norris, was undoubtedly the headline story. However, the race was packed with incidents from start to finish, from safety car restarts to the dramatic Verstappen-Russell collision and subsequent penalties. The early retirements of Alex Albon and Kimi Antonelli added to the day's attrition, ensuring it was a captivating afternoon.